sense is the Brian De Palma movie Blowout, because that's actually about a sound guy. If you look at John Travolta, like all that stuff was part of the industry when I started first working on, reel recording to 24-track analog machines to, and then basically now everything is done on Pro Tools. That's kind of the industry standard, and then there's usually like a recorder backup, which could be, various things. But so and then in terms of consoles and stuff, it just varies. Like there's no two facilities, I think, that operate their ADR rooms in exactly the same way. Like at Fox, we have an SSL duality console, but the center section was actually custom designed and built by the Fox engineers for ADR. So, you can do some kind of elegant things with it because of that. But other places I work, you don't necessarily need that. There are ways to work completely within the box of Pro Tools and still get the same results. It's just, it's a little bit more, button pushing intensive.
Well, and where do you think it's going next? Because like you, I mean, when I started, there was a lot of a few years after I started, when things were starting to switch over from analog to digital, you had a lot of these old guys who just couldn't comprehend digital and really had a lot of trouble transitioning to it. Some could, some couldn't, and now things are going even faster. So, I mean, what's next, and is it going so fast that people like yourself, no offense intended, are going to be like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and raise sheep in Australia now.
I mean, that's a real thing. I think that there will always be the need to record some ADR and some voiceover, but probably less and less because, with the new AI technology, it's much better at separating the noise out from backgrounds and things like that. Also, you could use AI technology to, fix things just in terms of, like airline lines where, they're substituting swear words and things like that. You don't necessarily need the actor to come in and do that now. And sync is actually less important because you can now do foreign dubs where you're changing the way the actors' mouths move in the image to make it match the new dialogue. That's another AI thing. So what I've done to kind of insulate myself and, make sure that I'm not completely out of work is I've tried to expand my skill set to also be able to do audiobooks, podcasts, video games, just learning how to do anything. I mean, it all kind of falls in the broad category of helping other people tell their stories.
Yeah, it's amazing now, all the different things that are cropping up that you just pointed out, audiobooks, video games, and, who knows what else, it's coming on down in the future,
Even audio dramas. I mean, it's funny that people were saying, like, 50 years ago that radio's dead, but, what are audio dramas now except, like, basically on-demand radio shows that, people love that format. People are rediscovering, and everything that's old is new again.
Amazing future. That's so for sure.
Eddie, what do you think? I want to ask you, as far as when you learned mastering at USC and you actually went through the official channels, do you think it's possible for a regular home producer to have an industry level standard of mix or master of their home product, with the stuff that they have out today, or is there still an industry level standard that like you have to be down there? It's like always been a mystery for me what levels they accept compared to home stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because I'm a musician too, and I've recorded several albums worth of material of my band and other music and stuff. And back in the day, you know, I would pay like a mastering engineer to listen to stuff, and it'd be like $100 a track, you know, that kind of thing. And even I got into something what they call stem mastering, right, where you have like all the guitars, all the vocals, then like, you know, stereo drums and stuff like that, and they would treat it as kind of a cross between mastering and mixing, and it got to be very expensive. But the reason why that was necessary is because a lot of home studios, you don't really have an accurate reflection of what's going on the bottom end, right?
Okay.
Especially between the subs and the bass and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I would say that from the mids and the highs, you can pretty much mix that stuff at home. But for it to sound as good as the best professional level mixes and mastering, that's, you know, you need studios that are properly tuned and able to accurately represent what's happening on the very, very low end. Now that said, the last few songs that we've put out, we've mastered with AI mastering from home, and it's not, you know, it's hard rock music, so it's not like in hip hop the low end is extremely, you know, pivotal and important. In hard rock, it's important, but it's not quite as pivotal.
Yeah, it's not definitive.
David Xandean, I have to stop you guys. We have about 1 minute, and we're going to take a 10-minute break, and you'll get a second link, and we'll finish up this interview. So yeah, we'll take a 10-minute break. Tim, David, Paranormal Soul Brother, and me.
Sounds good. See you in 10.
Okay, see you in 10.
All right, gentlemen.
And in 30 seconds, it will shut down. And you guys won't have to look at my face for 10 minutes.
Do the New Year's countdown.
I'll put Homer back up.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, put Homer back up.
Yeah. When you come back on, put Homer on. I like that. 2, 1.